Depends who your friends and family are, right? That's what, I don't know. I would never take a loan from anybody in my family. I'll tell you that much. I love every one of them, but I'm not gonna take their money. With regards to friendship, I mean, again, it really depends who your friends are. But in most cases, would you want that to come between any personal friendship? With investors, that depends on how big this is gonna be. If you're trying to open up a big manufacturing facility, it's going to cost you $5 million to do the build. If you got the money, because most likely, even with our infinite funding sources, it's going to be hard to pull money like that for someone. If we can, it's going to be on an investor basis anyways, and they're going to want a piece of the company. What I recommend anybody to do is to evaluate every single option and think about how much you need to start the company. If you need under $100,000, go get the money yourself. If you can't, I personally wouldn't ask someone else. The biggest reason is, as an entrepreneur, I like to own my accomplishment. I like to say the fact that we did everything on our own. We didn't even borrow money from a friend. We didn't borrow money from a family. He drained a lot of his retirement. I'll tell you, that's something we can throw out there just to talk about the sacrifice of what it does take. And I drained all my savings, and we funded everything we could. When we needed to do marketing endeavors, it was a godsend to have our business credit. But I will tell you, if I were to have a friend who was behind the scenes, when my other friends are hanging out with him saying, I gave him that 10 grand to get started. He's where he is because of me. I would never want that. Or at the Thanksgiving table, when I'm trying to own my own success and be proud of it, and my brother's like, yeah, but I gave you some of my 401k to get that business started. Or you hear the auntie in the background, yeah, and I drained out my retirement to give him 20 grand to buy that new location. As an entrepreneur, it does something to the inside of you, your soul, when you know that you did it on your own. You didn't need your friends and family. That's the main reason why I would say don't do it, is because when it all boils down, you want to say that you were able to do it on your own. Yeah, you need to get a loan, but that's a totally different story. I'm talking about the people who are close to you, and even more than you feeling it yourself, you want to inspire the people around you, don't you? You want to kind of inspire them to see that it's doable. Oh man, Chris did it. We both come from very modest upbringings. I grew up in a pretty poor area, and I was like the poor kid on the block, and so my friends back home in Chicago, when they talk about me, I inspire them. They see someone who was able to move somewhere and start his business and do it all on his own. How would you feel if you went back home and everybody were to talk about you in that light? Or how would you feel if you went home and you were just that kid that got lucky and someone loaned him money from the neighborhood, oh yeah, I heard his uncle gave him all that money to get that business started. Then who are you? You're just some other hack who had it handed to him, right? And I don't want to be that. No entrepreneur wants to be that, because you'll forever have it in your mind that you're dependent on others to get things accomplished, Like anybody out there listening that has done it on their own, they understand exactly what I'm talking about,